The problem, as I speak to it on May 2nd, as we enter a weekend of lockdown again, the problem in this country is corruption. And boy, in Abaco, you could see it so clearly. And for 20 years, I've been speaking about corruption. And the Tribune staff reporter reported just a few years ago. The Tribune reporter said the Bahamians' number one concern in the Bahamas is the police. Seems to be the most corrupt government agency in the country. And I've learned it firsthand. In Abaco, they tried to silence a small man while the big man is stealing and robbing from this country for decades. They always talk about the Haitians, but every time they suspect that their government is doing wrong, they hit to the street. And they bring down a prime minister or president of Haiti, burning tires in the middle of the street, blocking the street. Thousands. How many have done that in this country? When I reported years ago, I didn't know anything about it. They bring it to me because they know I have the fearlessness in me to bring the truth. But I'm not going to bring anything unless I do my investigation. When I reported while Hubert Ingraham was prime minister of this country, I went to Hubert Ingraham myself. You see, I elected Hubert. Hubert never voted for himself in 35 years. That's something, eh? Never promoted anybody. And I saw Jeff Jones from Bakers Bay that don't have any license to sell property in this country. He been selling property for a decade all by himself. No real estate license in America nor the Bahamas. All he did was walk with the people that were buying the property, walk them to Hubert Ingraham office. $250,000 to the deeds to $2.5 million property. Some of them houses out there cost 15, 20 million in Bakers Bay. Hubert office got all of it while he was the prime minister of the country. In-house dealing, sitting at the table and giving yourself contract. That was illegal. I went to Mr. Ingraham. I said, sir, please, Kai is one of those guys that supported you. Can you make sure that Bakers Bay people catch a taxi? You getting $250,000 a pop? Kai only want $20 if they come from the airport to the dock. Hubert replied to me, Kai, leave them people alone. You hear what I say? So I said, with my brave set, okay, go ahead with your big head. I want to know, Mr. Ingraham, which one of those persons that you're telling me to leave alone stood on the line for 3 hours to vote for you with your big water head? That was the last time I spoke to him and supported him. Then we look at this, another Hubert. God, it ain't right. We got stuck with two Hubert. The first thing, Brent Simmons did the first contract in Abaco. $25 million. As a minister in the F&M government, awarded himself $25 million. Take a contract from a company named Albrys Ferry that has been running some 4 decades ferry service, and they supported the F&M. And the first thing the F&M did was grab that contract from them, and Albrys Ferry never got $25 million. never got 5 million a year. They upped the antiques. So what that means, that they have the prime minister and the minister responsible for investment and immigration in their back pocket. That was called inside trading, sitting at the table and awarding yourself contract. In Haiti, after the Haitians would have found that out, they would have stand on the streets day and night and buying tires and buying the tires on the road until the prime minister resigned. Nobody to date has protested against Bakers Bay and this government. Nobody. All the corruption has happened even before COVID-19. Nobody has hit the street. Abaco, oh, how I love my Abaco. This government, who's supposed to be a servant to the people that got brutally bashed by Hurricane Dorian, 9 months in, they said they're not going to rebuild one home. We elected a man that we haven't seen in 35 years. He sat besides me in my high school class, Darren Henfield. He happened to be my cousin. He is my MP. He is the Minister of Foreign Affairs. And Darren, 9 months in, May 1st, haven't spoke to the people of North Abaco. But he sent them a bag of chicken, a bag of pork chop, had his sister cook 100 plate of food and send them out, and they took pictures. He had his sister take pictures of the people that they gave the bag of pork chop and the bag of chicken. I don't know what happened to the 65 used computer that Sidney Colley begged for in Washington, D.C. I don't know where Darren's going to stick it in because there's no power to understand his hometown. I have had the worst time of my life. Just like Shane Gibson and the rest of the ministers. I was not a minister. But 3 months after I did a video and said to the people of Bakers Bay, you have to fight for your rights. Penland said this, and he taught me this. If you don't fight for your country, you don't deserve to have it. I am instructing them how to fight for the country, how to fight against the oppression and the bad treatment and the underpayment in Bakers Bay. 3 months after that, Darren and his crew got together, got with the police, threw up a charge, sent me to jail because I speak. That is not how you stop corruption. Only way you could stop corruption if you punish those at the top. Y'all sent me to jail for doing a video of how Bakers Bay being dodging tax, underpaying. They even sent a memo that nobody of color is to be seen congregating on the streets of Bakers Bay. If more than 2 black persons want to congregate, you have to go behind the fence. That's just where Negro should be. This is happening, and that has happened in my Abaco. You cannot speak to each other out in public in Bakers Bay. You have to go behind the fence. I said it was wrong. They jailed me. But yet, while all this was happening, Brent Simonet went and secured $25 million for him and the Prime Minister. Bakers Bay people thought I was the enemy. Everybody's got sent home now. Who is the enemy now? Corruption will never, ever end in any country. If you want to jail Kai, send the defense force every time I go by the trailer. They cannot bury the dead. They are stopping the loved ones from getting the bodies of their loved ones. They could have buried their loved ones in some dignity, some Christian burial 9 months ago. But the government refused to give the loved ones, their loved ones, that are sitting in a trailer 9 months later. When they talk about it, they will bring a bus of 20 Defense Force armed guards to run me away from doing a video. Then the administrator from the clinic would come and grab my bus open, threaten me for taking a video on the streets, alerting the world that this government is not prepared to bury our dead in some Christian burial. 9 months in, I was right. They're still in the trailer. 9 months later, they're trying to silence Kai Mills while the corruption is starting and still going on within the government, within the police force. I reported down in Abaco, a key member of the police force accepted $10,000. He's still in this position after the residents came forth and gave a statement that this is a corrupt cop. And I asked the government, the police that were in the liquor store, is that worse than the police that accepted $10,000 from the residents of Abaco that went through a hurricane and trying to put their life together? Why is he still on his job? Corruption is never going to stop until you start to punish the people at the top. That is when corruption going to stop. It's one of these Kai cases. You're live on WCAY.